Hi everybody, this is Rain Tarot and I'm back with another pick a card video. Today I wanted to discuss what's going on in this connection and what's happening between you and your person. So I want you to think of a connection that you really want some answers about. This could be romantic, this could be basically any type of partnership, you and a friend, or you and a coworker, anything like that. And I want to help you get some clarity in what's happening in the situation. So I'm going to actually shuffle on camera this time and pull cards organically as we're discussing the situation. I'm going to pull out 3 note cards that are going to talk about 3 different types of connections and what the energy is trying to be communicated right now. So let's get those note cards, and there will be channeled messages on those note cards. So that's how we're going to discuss what's going on right now. There's my cat that just meowed in the background in case anybody just heard what happened right there. So let's get those note cards and channel some messages. Okay, so here are the piles 1, 2, and 3. If you could take a couple meditative breaths to center yourself and get yourself in touch with your intuition so that you can choose a pile that is clearly speaking to you. The stone on pile 1 is a fire opal. Pile 2 has this turquoise blue stone, which I think talks about head and heart communicating and getting those in touch. And the third is another form of a fire opal that is more purple and reflective. So when you're ready, the timestamps are going to be in the description box and you can head over to your pile. Hello, pile 1. This is going to be your reading on what is happening in this connection right now if you chose pile 1. So I'm going to start with the intuitive message that I got for this pile, and it says we need growth right now, maybe later. So I feel like this pile may be trying to manifest something or bring something in terms of this connection, but they still have personal growth either you or your person still needs to have, or circumstances just aren't working in the way that they need to be working right now in order to bring you two into union, or bring you two into a place where union can also mean greater understanding with each other and being on the same page, having things flow harmoniously and energies align. So the song, I like to include shufflemancy sometimes because songs can also give us messages in them, especially if you have a gift for clairaudience. And the song here is Sorry by Justin Bieber, and the lyric that came to mind was, is it too late now to say sorry? So it's like about maybe feeling like you've missed opportunities, and if you've missed opportunities in the past, that's what's keeping you from being on the same page right now with this person, keeping you from being where you want to be. But if you do the proper things right now, you will be able to get in contact and in greater harmony with this person. So I'm putting that to the side, and I'm going to do some on-camera shuffling today because I feel like these messages I want to separate from the energy of the person that you're asking about and the energy of you, the viewer. So let's ask, can we have a card to represent our person? This just flew out, the Hermit. So this person is going within themselves and reflecting on what has happened so far in this connection, where you two are both at, how they feel about this. And I feel like very sad, honestly, in terms of tapping into this person's energy. This person may just feel kind of exhausted right now. They're not in the place to be able to communicate effectively. These cards came out for what they're going through. So we have the Emperor reversed, 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups reversed, and then 3 of Wands. Yeah, they're not prepared for what they know can be happening in this connection. They feel like they don't have everything together right now with this Three of Wands reversed. It's like this person still, since they're in this reflective energy, they're kind of going within and understanding their own shadow aspects and how that may have contributed to this. I feel like this person is trying to be mature by stepping away from this connection and looking at it differently, and they feel like they haven't brought to you exactly what they wanted to bring to you, in terms of what they know you deserve, what you may have put in. I feel like in this group, the viewer may be reversed, because sometimes that's how this works, but you may have been putting a lot into this connection, and that person almost took it for granted and did not see all of the blessings that you were providing to them and how you were truly helping them and guiding them to be in a better place mentally and spiritually. And they're really taking time to go home, and whether that be, it has something to do with children, so it could be going in and looking at their own inner child, but like I see a lot of these people that you're in contact with interacting with the people in their home and their home life, and evaluating that and how that's affected them and how that's made them act the way that they do, and how their own life situation has contributed to where they are right now with this connection. And they want to be in this Emperor energy. They want to be somebody who is respectful of others and a good, for some it may be a partner, but for others it may be a leader. They want to be a good example, and they want to be able to communicate their true ideals and be a positive and uplifting person who also is very wise and brings in that wisdom and can communicate things really effectively with power and strength and fervor. And they don't want to be this person who brings up a lot of emotions in others, and they've realized recently when they get super emotional responses, it's likely because of the way that they've been acting and operating in the world. Before I move on to your energy as the viewer, I want to get some cards from this deck. Oh, here's one. Change. Yes, as I've been saying this whole time, this person is definitely going through some kind of spiritual change, and when this happens for somebody and is catalyzed, it can take a good amount of time depending on if you're willing to wait for this person to harmonize with you. This card says, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. So this person is moving into new energy, and they're becoming a different and more elevated aspect of themselves. And this 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, and in numerology, 3 is a catalytic number. It's a number that stimulates growth and moves us into a new place where we're able to celebrate life more and see the abundance in life. And integrating the outward and the inner is definitely reflected here with the Hermit, where the two worlds are merging and turning into one. So this person, it all starts with their communication, and it comes from a place of them realizing that they need to be a higher and better expression of themselves, an expression of source and the energy in which they were brought into this life to communicate. And then it expands out from them, understanding that the way that they communicate with the world needs to be a good expression of themselves and increase the energy that is in the universe, not decrease from it. So now that we've got that person's energy out there, I want to check in with the reader's energy. So can we get one card to represent the reader? Oh, these cards just flew. So these two came out together, and I think both of them flew together, so I laid it down reversed, but I don't think that this Nine of Swords needed to be reversed. The Nine of Swords is stress, and it's mental chaos, a lot of self-blame, self-doubt, looking inwards within yourself, but doing it without the love and the compassion of like the hermit, or the guidance that you might get from looking within as a hermit, and the teaching of yourself that may happen when you're in hermit energy. This is more of being really hard on yourself. And Three of Pentacles, I'm thinking of a teacher. I'm thinking of kind of chastising yourself in a way, but looking to how the actions that you take and kind of picking yourself up by doing other activities. You and this person may have just had some kind of formal like argument or separation from each other that really solidified that you're not in contact, or things aren't operating in the way that they used to operate, and that may be causing you this stress. And I don't think that you need to be so hard on yourself. Yeah, okay, so these cards just came out: Eight of Swords, restriction, and then the Lovers, Angels of Commitment. So in this Lovers card specifically, these two people are trying to look at each other, and they're trying to touch, and they're trying to make things work and operate in a place of harmony. But without that connection, and without being able to communicate from a place that is within their heart, and also within the same frequency of a consciousness in their mental energy, they're not going to be able to align, and they're not going to be able to work together and effectively communicate. So the ways in which you're throwing yourself maybe into work, or teaching yourself, building up skills that have to do with the way that you work and you operate and you understand your reality, are really beneficial to you right now. This is like the good side that's feeding your heart, and then this is the energy that you need to step away from and you need to move forward out of. Because when you're in a loving relationship, or you have a situation going on where you are being fed spiritually and emotionally, you shouldn't feel like you have to have any restrictions on yourself, and you should be able to be fully equipped and whole as one person, and not have to resort to being a Nine of Swords energy anytime there's a disagreement. So this is showing to you that there's some kind of healing that you need to still go in and do in order to get yourself into a more stable energy. Yes, something you can focus on right now is delight, and what helps you with that delight is usually being around people that you already know have your best interests at heart. And this frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So this is like going into that home space, or where you feel most at home. Even if your home life in reality, or the actuality of your home life, isn't fully stable, this doesn't have to literally mean a home life. This could also mean the places in which you find home and the people that represent home to you. So this is talking about feeling complete, feeling a sense of oneness, being around the people that you know feed that good side of your existence and help you through hard times, and have helped you in the past through hard times. I don't mean turning to negative coping skills or going backwards in your progression if you've moved into healthier ways of dealing with things. I'm talking about the people who you know inspire in you a feeling of gratitude and an understanding that you're provided for and you're taken care of, and that are aligning with your goals and your ideals, and create a sense of community within you. And if you don't feel like there's anybody that you do have to do that, it also talks about activities that help you feel happy, so that you can, when you're around people, even if they aren't necessarily aligning with your energy, you can be on a higher frequency to inspire them to come to your level of frequency and be with you on your journey rather than in opposition of you. So before I move on from this pile, I really want to get a sense of the connection between you and how you could possibly move forward in that. So let's get cards for the connection between this person and that person. Viewer of pile 1 and that person, what is going on between them. Okay, yeah. So the card that just came out is Endings, 10 of Swords. And I think it's interesting that on your end, there's the 8 and the 9 that came out. So it's something that maybe you have anticipated that you're moving towards, and this person may have been more resistant to it with the 9 of Cups and then the 10 of Cups. This is more of an emotional thing for them, and for you, it's more of a mental process and the way in which your mental processes represent what you're going through and how you operate in the world. So this could be some kind of ending that is coming between the two of you of a paradigm or some kind of relationship dynamic that has been repeated in past lives for either of you, and it's coming to a close to remind you of how far you've come and how much you've grown through this understanding. So let's get one more card for this. Perception. Yes, so the 10 of Swords is pointing to, when paired with this card, the Perception card, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. And this is understanding your own emotional intelligence and the way in which you treat others and the way in which this person treated others, and kind of letting things settle down so that you can have, sometimes when you step away from something or there's been a lot of time since you got out of a situation, you see it a lot clearer because you aren't so emotionally involved. And I feel like that's why this ending is happening for you, so that you can take a step back, look at this situation a lot more clearly, see where things were working, see where things weren't working, and how you and the other person both contributed to this because of the level of awareness that you're at and the consciousness that you both embody, and how you could have possibly made missteppings or done things correctly. So I want to get one more card just to close this out, to show you what you can focus on. What can the viewer for pile 1 focus on coming out of this? Okay, so here are 2 cards that came out. Passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So this is talking about any emotion that brought you to a real intensity and helped you understand certain things about yourself. You need to align your head and your heart, how you thought about it and how it made you feel, in order to get a greater understanding of what this situation was trying to show you. And it will bring you grounding and help you love yourself more and connect you with your path and what source has been trying to communicate to you through this situation. And here with the Gaia card, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So if you feel discouraged, because endings can sometimes be very discouraging or unsettling, if you are feeling discouraged at this, know that we are all still connected, and the people who are meant to be in contact with us will always be brought into our life. And the more that we forgive others, the easier it is to release them of the bonds of negativity and help them forgive us as well. And the healing work that we do for ourselves also heals everyone around us and other situations that may not seem like they're connected to this, but they will end up eventually being healed because of the work that you do to let go of this and understand that you're maybe being prompted to look in other directions to find love and understand where you are right now. So I think that's it. Thank you, Pile 1. I'm going to move on to the viewers that chose Pile 2. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this turquoise blue stone and the card number 2, this is going to be your reading. So I'm going to start right now with the message that I intuitively wrote out ahead of time and the song that came up when I did some shufflemancy. So it says, "My body is your captive, your wish is my command." And the song that came out is "Dead" by Madison Beer. And it says, "I give whatever you want, but you just take it and run." So I feel like in a way you may be feeling a little taken advantage of, or like someone's not appreciating you and you're giving a lot. You have somebody who you may feel is not appreciating everything that you're doing for them, and whether this be romantic or in a workplace situation or in a family situation, this person is not seeing the full potential of who you really are and your highest expression, and it's getting you kind of frustrated. So first I want to read on this person in this connection and how they're viewing the situation and what their energy is doing to this. So I'm using the Wild Unknown. Okay. This represents the person that you're talking about, 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is, I'm feeling very like Aries, possibly Taurus. It's kind of more stubborn and a little more impulsive in the energy. It could be Capricorn as well. It's someone who is really kind of harsh sometimes with their words, and this could be referring, these energies that I feel could be referring to their Mercury sign as well. I don't know if you know their chart or anything like that, but it's the way in which they communicate. It can come off as a little bit unplanned or unthought out, and so you may feel that they're not fully representing their emotions or how they deeply feel. It's just kind of surface level, like whatever is happening on the surface, whatever is happening in the situation at the moment that it's happening, that is what they're communicating, and they're not really thinking out the whole totality of the situation. They're not looking at it as one. It's just happening kind of fast and quick and in the moment, and it may not be fully representative of how they actually feel. And they're in this way also showing off a lot of their shadow aspects. I'm seeing with this lightning bolt that has these shadows in multiple different directions. It's like the light's coming from the middle and casting shadows in multiple different areas. So this person may not just be doing this in this situation with you, but their shadow side is really coming out and affecting this. So can we get more energy on with this person, how they're acting and why this is happening in this connection? Okay, the card just flew out. Yeah, so this person is trying desperately to have this Queen of Swords energy, I feel like, is being reflected out of them, or they may have a spirit guide that is in the form of Queen of Swords, kind of cutting certain things out of their life, and like you may be something that's a big blessing that was brought in from other things that they were doing, and since they're kind of taking it for granted and acting out of shadow aspects, you're kind of being taken away from them in a way, and that's why you may be blocked from interacting with this person in a way that you want. You would be a blessing to this person, and they kind of don't deserve it right now, is what I'm getting from this. Or they aren't in a place to be able to receive that because of what's going on. Yeah. So they're being provided for in other ways. They have all these other things that they've been provided with, and their angels have blessed them with to get them like the bare minimum, you know, help them survive. But their angels, I feel like a white feather, usually I see that as an angel being with them or guiding them. And with these four feathers, it's like the angels are trying to give them their stability, protect them in a way to kind of keep them in the darkness and keep them analyzing their own situation and what they have and the abundance that is in their life so that they can figure out what is happening and how to navigate that and what to do. So I want to know for the viewer of pile 2. Okay. Let's tap into the viewer's energy a little bit more and help them understand where they're coming from. Yeah, okay. The Lovers just came out for you. It's like you are really trying to operate in this place of love, keep things together, but I feel like it's you trying to orchestrate this and not a higher power, because there are other forces at play that are trying to get everyone to understand their own journey. Now, I want to know what you're learning from this. Oh, and a lot of cards just came out. So, okay, we have the Fool in reverse, 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Mother of Wands, 7 of Cups, and 9 of Swords. So 9 of Swords is in reverse though. So I feel like you may not be too worried about this because you kind of already intuitively understand that this person may be acting out of a shadow aspect, but you're not willing to move forward and do anything about this or do any of the introspection of what you may have contributed to this situation. And you kind of, I feel like you're in a victim mentality, especially with this intuitive message that I first pulled out with my body is your captive, your wish is my command, kind of feeling enslaved to somebody, which I don't want to compare that to this because that's a little insensitive of actual people who are enslaved, but in a way you're victimizing yourself in that way and viewing yourself as being coerced into doing things or acting to help somebody, and it's because you're trying to love them so much. You're trying to do things that you see this broken person, you see this person who is being kind of maybe having a lot of barriers put in their way and a lot of things blocked from giving them the abundance that you would like for them to have. But that's not your job right now. You're not supposed to be their angel. You're not supposed to be the one providing them with this love, because that's their spirit guides' jobs. They have angels that are in their life that are doing that work for them to help them get to where they need to be. You need to be focused on yourself. You have choices here emotionally, and I think it's interesting that the 6 and then the 7 come out together, and it's like, don't let the old energy that you may have enjoyed with this person kind of get in the way of you moving forward and seeing that you have better options and you have better choices that could help you bring you out of the darkness. Because in this card, I always like to see that there's the dark and then the light. You can choose one or the other. You can choose to stay in the dark in a way, or you can choose to head towards the light and chase your purpose and what you're meant to do in your higher expression in this world. And the Mother of Wands is somebody, especially in this card, it's like holding all her eggs, trying to keep things secure. But if you decided to use this Queen of Wands energy, which is pursuing passions and inspiring creativity in herself and really investing in herself and can be somebody who's very independent, if you invested in that energy that you could be in right now, then you would be able to be a better expression of yourself and feel more grounded and feel more secure and focus on your own emotional intelligence, because I feel like you are a very highly emotionally intelligent person. You just sometimes overgive to others and can sometimes be generous to a fault sometimes. And what you need to do right now is go inside, do the inner work, see what's not serving you, see where these emotions you need to let go of them. Oh, I didn't even realize it goes 6, 7, 8 of cups. And I feel like this is really where you need to be headed, instead of maybe even stressing, because this could be over stressing about it. But I feel like you could quickly move out of stress if you ever do get stressed out about this situation, because you intuitively know that this person has been going through the things that they're going through, and you can perceive that their situation is the way it is. If you have any intuitions about what this person is going through, or why they may not be communicating with you effectively, or communicating with you in the wrong way, any intuitions that you have about that or regarding this connection are likely right. And this is being a confirmation to tell you that you may be too loving or over generous with this person, and that it would be better for you to kind of pick up and see how other emotions or cups are being offered to you right now, and that you can choose to walk forward and go within yourself and go on a new journey. Because I feel like you are supposed to end up in this Fool energy, where you're being more carefree, wild-hearted, looking towards a better and more intensified expression of yourself. I'm sorry for this 9 of Swords and 7 of Cups kind of being cut off for most of this right now. I just realized that they were kind of cut off. But the Fool right here is really where you need to be headed, and kind of stepping off this branch, learning how to fly by yourself, learning how to not be a victim in a situation, and not have other people's emotions dictate how you feel, really standing up for yourself. This Mother of Wands is somebody who can really stand in her power and stand her ground and protect her own emotions and her own plans that she wants to have hatch in the future, with those eggs kind of being represented there. So I want to get a card of advice for this pile, rather than to show what's the connection between here, because I feel like this connection is very heavily, like, the line is drawn between you. Like, this person has their own shadow work that they're working on, and their own things that are kind of being cut out of their life, and their own mental processes where they need to really be independent right now. And you have so much more potential that you could be working on, because you have so much love, and you shouldn't be keeping yourself out of a place of love, because I feel like you have done a lot of work to get to where you're at, and this energy is a lot more immature to this energy. So I want to get my viewer for pile 2 some advice of what they could do to move forward and increase the love in their life. Okay, we have a lot of cards that just came out. So Ganesh, dance with Ganesh. Ganesh is one of my favorite deities. He removes the obstacles. He brings in positivity and love and abundance. If you just give yourself over to the joy, and your life will flow. This is the crazy wisdom, wrathful Buddha. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. So you won't have to seek out the opportunities. A lot of them will come to you if you don't put too much mental energy onto it or try and think it out too hard. It will come to you. And then this also says, replace hatred through learning and wisdom. Don't hold any resentment towards this person, because you have the ability to be wise in this situation and use your wisdom and your intuition to understand that they're being provided for. Other things are going to come get them. Their karma is coming for them. They need to work through that. You don't need to lower your own karma or bring in negativity for yourself by judging this person or holding resentment for them. And then finally, words have great power. Use them for the greater good. So this is talking about being careful what you say, and using your words even when you're talking to your friends or acquaintances or people that are trying to help you out through this situation. Don't talk bad about that person. Also, don't talk negatively about yourself or your own role in this, and try and see things as the positive and speak with words of positivity that will bring more positive things into existence, and help yourself be in a place where you are at peace with the situation, and you can rest and increase your own faith in the future and where you're headed in this situation. So I think that that's it, pile 2. I don't think that there's anything else that I can really say about this situation other than you're being guided and provided for, and positivity will come into your life if you keep holding the wisdom and the knowledge that you are always headed in the direction that you need to for your life purpose and your higher expression of who you're meant to be in the future and what you're meant to do and influence in this world. So thank you, pile 2. I'm going to move on to pile 3. Hello, my lovelies that chose pile 3. This is your reading if you wanted to know what's happening in this connection and you chose pile 3. So this is the fire opal, the dark fire opal. I wrote out a little intuitive message ahead of time before you decided this pile, and what it says is, I am transfixed by your presence. The song is Fresh Air by Jayne. You could make the doves cry if you wanted. That's the lyric that came to mind, and I felt really resonated for the energy of this pile. So I'm going to shuffle on camera so that I can get a good read on your person and you. So I'm going to start with the person that you're asking about, and before I even get any cards out on this surface, I wanted to share with you that I feel like this person is really invested in this connection and they do really care about what you think. They feel warmed by your presence, but at the same time, and like almost hypnotized, like they can't look away, but at the same time it's kind of overwhelming, and that's why I feel like the song Fresh Air came out. And it's like you could bring somebody who is even at peace with everything else in their life to a place of self-evaluation and questioning other things going on in their life. So this person may have been really rocked by this connection and is kind of at this point like struggling to deal with what this means for their life and how they want to move on from here. So that's just intuitively what I'm picking up. It's a good energy, but it's also very overwhelming and kind of can make people feel scared. So let's ask, can I have a card to represent this person? Yeah. Okay. So with this Five of Swords in reverse, they're realizing that everything that they may have lost in the past wasn't really a loss. They're realizing if this person may have been attached to other people and really wanted those things to pan out, and they may have seemingly been kind of cut away and quickly taken away from them. And they were upset about that, but once they found you, it was like, holy crap, that's why, this is why. Everything's starting to make sense for them. So they're kind of trying to wrap their head around what this means. And yeah, the Ten of Cups, I don't think that this is supposed to be reversed. Sometimes I feel like a reversal is important, and for this one, this is an overabundance of realizing this loss, but it's kind of coming to terms with the loss. It's not a negative energy. It's really like just understanding the loss in the past, and it's an overabundance of it. And also kind of like blocking off feeling a loss for it. That's why it's supposed to be reversed. But this one is definitely, it's like coming home and seeing that their emotions are really fulfilled and rounded out right now with this meeting. I want to get one more card. Okay. It's interesting, all these reversals. I feel like this person really recognized you, and it's pushing them to move somewhere spiritually. This is really prompting them to get more in touch with their spiritual side and who they see themselves as. Nine of Wands is determination in this card, and I feel like with this Six of Wands on the back of the deck energy, I see this Six of Wands as like celebration, and the word on here is recognition. It's like when they saw you, they realized that you were meant to be a part of their life in some fashion, and that's why right now they're kind of trying to take a beat to try and figure out, okay, how logically, can I integrate this person into my life? How can I bring them into my space, into my other situations? If they had made plans, they may need to rework those plans, understand how you fit in this, because I get the feeling that this person was not expecting to have this connection happen at the time that it did, but it brought them so much emotional fulfillment that it's worth this reconfiguration, and they are really determined to make this work and to integrate you into their like spiritual stuff. I want to get, before I read on what the energy of you, the viewer, is, what's happening in this connection between you. Yeah, it's decisions. It's like really making informed decisions as well. Having the conversations that maybe they needed to have to close up the things in the past and stop the way that they were thinking before. I'm definitely getting the sense or the phrase of like cleaning things up, tying up loose ends, finishing off old things in order to get themselves into the space where they want to be who they really want to be for you. I want to get a Buddha wisdom card for your person as well before I move on to your energy. Oh, okay. A lot of cards just came out, but yeah, you are fine just the way you are. And then 33 here, the magician, what you identify with becomes who you are. So this person realizes that maybe they were identifying with things that would bring in negativity to into this connection. And like, you already have really pure energy. You have done, I feel like this is more for you, the viewer. You've done the work kind of ahead of time, and this person's like trying to play catch up in a way, and they're trying to manifest the things that they need to be able to be a really good partner with you, with these two entities that are together, operating together. So this person is really trying to figure out how they can be that person and how they can manifest abundance for both of you into this connection, and remind you that you like kind of be the perfect partner to give you what you really deserve and what they want to be able to present to you. Because sometimes we have material things or logistics going on in our life that don't match what we really want or what we desire to be able to present to others, and they're really trying to get all of those things put together to be able to give you what you deserve. And this person is really understanding how they're different from you and how they possibly aren't at your level quite yet, and they want to be there. So that's really beautiful energy. This person's really trying their hardest to be what you deserve, and I think that sometimes it takes patience to be able to understand that we also do deserve for people to be able to give us that, and continuing to have grace with yourself right now during this period of transition. So let's get a card for your energy, the viewer. Two of Cups, partnership. Yes, you actively want this connection, definitely, and you're ready to be a balanced person in a connection with somebody, and you've probably been looking for romance or trying to increase the way that romance is happening in your connection. I want to get a couple more cards for there it is again, Six of Wands, this recognition card. It's like you also really heavily recognize the potential for this connection and what you want to bring into this connection. And here's another six. Interesting. Two sixes together I definitely see as devotion, as the ties that keep us connected to somebody else, things like that, support. And right here the word support came out too. And then on the bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups, love. You just want, there's an overwhelming sense of love and support and connection from this person. You may have been waiting for this person. You may be willing or intuitively picking up, especially with all this water energy. You, I feel like, are highly intuitive, and you're picking up that this person may need some kind of patience, and that's why you're looking to confirm that. Yes, you should be patient with this connection and understand that this person is loyal to you, they're devoted to you, They see you for who exactly you are, and they don't want you to change. And that's really beautiful energy in a connection, when the other person is not looking for you to be different. They see you just as you are, and they appreciate that. And you also recognize this in this other person. You see them for exactly who they are and their faults. We all have faults, but you see that, and you're trying to celebrate that as well. I want to know if there's anything that you could do to, or focus on, while you're in this kind of waiting period and you're trying to this Six of Cups also has to do with nostalgia, and that's why I stopped shuffling, because I do want to get you some advice for what you can focus on. But this also, don't be too focused on the past, or if you have had some kind of connection with this person that was really emotional or passionate, letting that not define how you see your current reality and your current situation with this person. So let's get the card of advice. Okay, there's 3 cards. Protector from the serpent race. Raise your eyes to a bird in flight to connect to the divine. So understanding that you do have guides, and you have entities working in other dimensions and other spiritual realms that are helping you with this journey right now, and looking up to see, the more that you have faith in these entities, the more that they're going to do for you, and the more that you try and get in contact with them, the better that they're going to try and communicate things with you to alleviate fears or any type of emotions that come up in this. And then here's a warrior goddess, dispeller of darkness. Become a warrior to dispel the darkness. And I'm thinking of the level of consciousness that is a warrior, someone who is really dedicated to elevating others and bringing them to a higher sense of awareness and connection with divine forces. This is also someone who's not afraid of change. They don't fear the kind of circles of death, rebirth, and greater connection that happens because of these cycles of death and rebirth. And then thirdly, we have the Green Tara, the Bodhisattva of compassion in action. Compassion with action yields results. So this is also speaking to having compassion for your own emotions and the things that you feel during this time while you're going through this period of growth and transformation, and having compassion for others as well. That's only going to increase the amount of compassion that is given to you by your guides and the workers that are doing things for you behind the scenes and helping you out during this period that you're going through. And it's going to increase the amount of love that you're communicating into the world. And when you're communicating love to every situation that you're in, it reflects love back to you and helps you understand the ways in which love can sometimes let us down. And I feel like it will give you the certain things that you may need to go through before you get in a more intense partnership where it is more day to day. I feel like right now, you and your person, especially with this fresh air, it's like if this person is transfixed or they have a certain amount of intense passion that comes from this connection, it can be somewhat unrealistic when you guys are in connection or communication with each other, because you can't handle a lot right now. So like it's very short and bursts, that kind of a thing. And if you resonate with the twin flame journey, you would probably be in separation at this point, but you're trying to hold out hope about coming into contact. And if you are in contact with each other, offering this person enough alone time and enough space and allowing them to communicate things with you and being open to that kind of communication and having compassion for when they need to step away or things need to happen that allow for the energy to be a little bit more mutual or matched, and kind of sometimes even intuiting that and being able to set those boundaries for yourself are really going to be necessary to keep this connection flowing in the way that you would like it to, and you know that it can. So thank you, pile 3. This was really beautiful. All of the information that I usually provide will be in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for viewing and supporting my channel. Have a wonderful and blessed day.